You think you're stuck because you don't earn enough. But the truth is, you're stuck because you're repeating the same invisible money cycle every single month. And the worst part, you don't even notice it. Every month starts the same way. You get paid. You feel a small sense of relief, maybe even excitement. For a moment, it feels like things are finally under control. You tell yourself, this month will be different. But within days, the money starts disappearing. Bills, small expenses, random purchases, things you didn't even plan for. And before you realize it, you're back to the same place, waiting for the next payment, feeling stuck again. This cycle doesn't happen because you're careless. It happens because your brain is wired to prioritize short-term comfort over long-term growth. When money comes in, your mind immediately looks for ways to reduce stress. You spend to feel stable. You spend to feel in control. And slowly, without realizing it, you create a pattern where money comes in and instantly flows out. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start saving next month? Or, I deserve this. I've worked hard. These thoughts feel harmless, but they are part of the loop because every small decision adds up, and over time, they build a system that keeps you exactly where you are. Here's where it gets interesting. Most people believe the problem is their income. They think, if I just earn more, everything will be fine. But if your habits stay the same, more money doesn't fix the cycle. It just makes the cycle bigger. Instead of running out of a small amount, you start running out of a bigger amount. The pattern stays exactly the same, and that's the hidden trap. You're not stuck because of how much you make. You're stuck because of how your money behaves once it enters your life. Until you understand that, nothing changes. Let's break this cycle down in a real, practical way. Imagine two people earning the same amount. One of them feels constantly broke, stressed, and stuck. The other slowly builds savings, creates stability, and feels in control. The difference isn't luck, and it's not talent, it's awareness. The first person spends based on emotion. When they feel tired, they order food. When they feel bored, they buy something online. When they feel stressed, they spend to escape that feeling. Each decision seems small, but together, they drain their future. The second person does something slightly different. They pause. They become aware of why they are spending. And that small pause changes everything. Most people don't realize that money problems are rarely about math. They are about behavior. You don't lose money in one big mistake. You lose it in dozens of tiny, unnoticed decisions. A subscription you forgot, a daily expense that feels insignificant, a purchase that gives you a few minutes of satisfaction but no real value. And here's the deeper truth. Your environment is designed to keep you in this cycle. Apps, ads, discounts, notifications. They are all built to make spending easy and automatic. You don't even have to think. One click and the money is gone. That's why discipline alone is not enough. You need awareness. Now think about your last 30 days. If you had to explain exactly where your money went, could you do it clearly? Most people can't. And that's the problem. When you don't track your money, you lose control over it. And when you lose control, the cycle continues without resistance. This is where the shift begins. Not with earning more, not with extreme saving, but with seeing clearly. Because once you see the pattern, you can finally break it. So how do you actually escape this cycle? Not with complicated systems, not with strict budgets that you can't follow, but with one simple shift. You pay attention before you spend, not after. Start by creating a small gap between impulse and action. The next time you feel like spending, pause for just 10 seconds. Ask yourself one question. Do I really need this, or am I just reacting to a feeling? That single question can stop hundreds of unnecessary decisions over time. Then give your money a direction before it arrives. Most people wait until they receive money and then decide what to do with it. That's too late. Instead, decide in advance. This portion goes to savings. This portion goes to essentials. This portion is for spending. When money already has a purpose, it becomes harder to waste. Another powerful shift is tracking, but not in a complicated way. Just write down where your money goes for a few days. Not forever, just long enough to see the pattern. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And awareness naturally leads to better decisions. And finally, understand this. Escaping the money cycle is not about perfection. You will still make mistakes. You will still spend on things you don't need sometimes. That's normal. What matters is that you become conscious of the pattern and slowly start changing it. Because the moment you break the cycle, everything changes. You stop feeling trapped. You stop waiting for the next payment to survive. And for the first time, your money starts working for you instead of against you. You don't need a higher income to change your life. You need a new relationship with money. And once that changes, the cycle ends for good.